Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this latest Bray Wyatt news video. We've got so much to go through. There's so much to talk about. This is pretty stacked and it's got some really, really interesting stuff in it as well. Stuff that I think you're really going to find insightful. So let's get straight into it. This is an interview that you can see on screen that Triple H did with The Wrap. If you want to read it in full, you can go to thewrap.com and find the article. I'm just going to give you the highlights, and basically, there's nothing here that we don't know. He just talks about Bray Wyatt. He talks about the White Rabbit project, as he says, and kind of everything that went into that, the Easter eggs, the QR codes, using social media. Basically, he said they wanted to make it a follow the White Rabbit type deal that ultimately led you to Bray's return. Now, why are we talking about this? Well, we're talking about this for a few reasons. The main reason is that there's still people out there that think Bray is going to have a White Rabbit gimmick and that Bray's going to come back and it's all going to be like Alice in Wonderland themed. Now, I'm sure many of you have kind of moved beyond that, but there are people that still get in touch with me talking about, you know, White Rabbit and what Bray's connections could be. This article kind of makes it clear that White Rabbit was only intended to build towards Bray's return. Now that Bray is back, that is it for White Rabbit. White Rabbit is done. I think it served its purpose and we are now moving onto something else. Obviously, we don't know quite what that something else is, but White Rabbit is pretty much done. Doesn't mean that we won't still get QR codes. I think we still could, but yeah, I'm not expecting Bray to have any kind of White Rabbit gimmick or Alice in Wonderland gimmick or anything along those lines. So if you want to read this article, as we said, thewrap.com, and you can see exactly what Triple H was talking about. Next up, we've got this. We've been sent this by Jacob, and I'll admit I don't know how long Bo Dallas has had this as his profile picture, but Jacob making the observation that the way that Bo looks here, the smile that's on his face, the angle of his face, kind of reminds him of that new mask. And I must admit, I can see the similarity. I can see what he's saying. And I thought that was quite an interesting observation. So could it be that Bo is just linking himself again to like this in some way? Obviously, the rumors are that he's on his way back to WWE. So again, might be some, might be nothing, but I liked it. So shout out to Jacob. I thought that was a good observation. I really like this. This is from Leviathan, and I will admit this one passed me by, right? I missed this. But thankfully, I caught it as I was preparing for this video. I think you're going to really like this as well. So we know that the mask is seemingly based on the movie Black Phone. There you can see the mask. Now, I've not seen this film, but apparently that mask was created by Tom Savini and his studio. They're the same people that have worked with Bray Wyatt and helped create Bray Wyatt's masks. So the connections are quite evident. And what's really interesting is Leviathan had a theory that Uncle Howdy is seemingly this mask. But could Uncle Harper be this mask as well? Because what I didn't know is that in the film Black Phone, you can actually take the mask apart. The bottom part comes off and you can change the expression on the mask. How cool is that? You can change the expression. That means that, and again, if we look at this image, you can actually see the marks on the mask around the cheek going over the bridge of the nose. You can see where that bottom part detaches. Now, obviously, we don't know if that's going to be the case when it comes to the Uncle Howdy mask. I can't see any lines or anything on there at this stage. So hard to tell as to whether that's something we're going to be getting or not. But yeah, I really like it. I really like the fact that you can see those lines that are in there, and that we could change the expression, which might ultimately change the persona of that person. And so that mask could actually be a few different characters. So just something to be aware of, because I love that. I really love that. I thought that was very, very clever. Next up, we've got this. This is the lyrics to Shatter. Shatter, of course, is the new theme song that Bray Wyatt is using. And yeah, this is really interesting because this is seemingly a brand new song. This isn't from one of their old albums. This is a brand new song. I don't know if it was created especially for Bray. If it was, you'd have to think the lyrics would be very, very important. People have looked at this and seen the word brother mentioned a few times. That's made people think about Bo Dallas. And there's a few other thoughts as people have gone through. I've read through this and nothing massively jumps out to me. I don't read this and think, oh, he's talking about Alexa, or oh, he's talking about Randy, or whatever. Like, I think the lyrics are interesting, but read them for yourselves. See what you guys think. But as I said, nothing massively jumping out to me. But this is definitely something people are paying attention to at the moment. Next, we got this. So Dutch, who is believed to be joining the new Wyatt 6 faction, if there is going to be a faction. Dutch and Vincent, both of Ring of Honor, were backstage not that long ago, seemingly at Raw, seemingly connecting them to coming into WWE. So it's believed that if they do come in, they'll be a part of Wyatt's new group. He sent a tweet out just the other day, and it had the Hawkmoth on it. So you can see as at a gig on the screen, look, there is the Hawkmoth. We've seen plenty of Hawkmoths during Bray Wyatt segments. Also features, I believe, as part of his profile picture, may even form his new logo as well. So that very much makes us think about Bray Wyatt. This seemingly at a Smashing Pumpkins concert. And the letters XYU, that has grabbed people's attention. I've seen some news doing the rounds that X, Y, and U were the last 3 letters that the Rabbit chose during the Hangman game. Do you remember the very, very first White Rabbit clue? I've gone back and watched it, and that's not true. That is not true. The final 3 letters were I, U, Y. Those were the last 3 letters. So the theory that this is the last 3 letters connecting back to that first clue is not correct. But the Rabbit did choose those 3 letters. It did select them at a certain point. It just wasn't the final 3 letters. Actually, the truth here is I think that is just simply a song title. Apparently, Smashing Pumpkins have a song that's called X, Y, and U. And that's the title of the song. So I think that Dutch went to a Smashing Pumpkins gig. They played the song XYU. He sent a tweet out about it. And at some point, they happened to have a Hawkmoth on screen. And obviously, that really, really caught people's attention. So make of that whatever you will. But this one definitely got people talking. Anything that's going to connect Dutch and Vincent to Bray is obviously where people's attention is at the moment. This is amazing. If you really enjoyed the mask theory that we did earlier about like changing the expression, this is another one that I think is going to really open your eyes. This is a bit disappointing, but I think we need to look at it as a positive. So Riddick, shout out to Riddick, who was browsing for stock graphics. So those are graphics that anyone can pay for and use. And he found this, the image that we've been kind of really trying to chew over. He found this. So this is that seemingly rabbit type man that we thought might be based on Ramblin' Rabbit. This has been shown during quite a few Bray segments. It's very interesting. It catches your attention because a lot of the other imagery is, you know, just like statues or skulls or things like that. This one was seemingly of a person. And so that's why this one really jumped out to people. Sadly, it seems like it's just an image that you can buy. Like anyone can buy it. So I think this means we don't need to read into this anymore. I do want to shout out Nightmare's mom as well, because she actually found this image being used in a different program. So again, you know, we've got some real clarity as to where this has come from now. But as I said, let's treat it as a positive, because at least we now know what this is. And so we don't need to spend any longer trying to decode it. Another fun little theory for you. This is from Uncle Grimmy. He says that he was looking through Batman and he found a character called Anarky. And Anarchy is all about bringing down the establishment, bringing down corporations and governments. And basically his mask is very interesting. I've got the images here. You can see the mask quite close, quite similar to the Uncle Howdy mask. If it just had like its teeth showing, maybe this is a bit of a mixture of like Anarky and also the mask from Black Phone. So yeah, I like this. I think it's always interesting to look at Batman because we know that the Fiend mask was based on the Joker. Like, that's been confirmed. We know that. So I think Batman really could be an inspiration for whatever creations are about to come. I mean, we've been looking at the Court of Owls as well, because one of the other images we saw was seemingly someone that looks like Bo Dallas wearing a Court of Owls type mask. And they're from Batman as well. So I wanted to include this because there could be something in this. And it's always just worth keeping an eye on Batman, because it's proven to be a connection in the past. Final thing we're going to look at then to round off this video, going to end on a positive. And this positive we're ending on is the performance of Bray's segment. So Bray's segment on SmackDown grew the audience by 9% overall. So 9% more people tuned in to Bray's segment than the rest of the show. And it actually grew 16% in the 18 to 49 demo. To put that into perspective, normal growth that you would see is around 4-5%. This 16%. It's one of the biggest quarter-on-quarter growths that SmackDown has seen all year. So, yeah, really, really strong numbers coming out for Bray's segment at the end of SmackDown. And that's it, guys. I hope you found this interesting. Just chucked in as much as I could here so that you know what people have been talking about over the past few days. I know there's nothing like monumental in there, but to be honest, it's been really quiet since SmackDown. There hasn't really been anything since we saw Bray. Lots of theories which we've already covered. But yeah, all eyes now turn into this Friday. So we'll see what Friday has got in store for us. I think he will give us some. I don't know that he's going to be on the show, but I do expect to see Uncle Howdy. I do expect to see the mask. I do expect something. So we'll have to wait and see what they've got planned. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. And hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.